Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Film Club at the Movies. That's right, Film Club at the Movies, where we talk about new and recent releases coming to a theater near you, or a streaming service, or maybe even a Redbox, if those are still around.
But a theater near you.
A theater near you. And today, we're talking about
Wuthering Heights.
That's right, Wuthering Heights.
And
written
also
by Emily Brontë in 1847. It's a classic American novel. English novel, yes?
welcome back to the Film Club. We haven't seen you since last year. This is our first episode of the year. Welcome back.
That's right. Welcome back.
He just wants to, just jump right into it.
Exactly, because we're changing up to being a book podcast. We have the book here.
I did have an idea. I'm glad, you kind of...
slid into that one?
You kind of slid into that one, because I was thinking, what if the Film Club did certain movies that are based off of novels, and for those episodes, we turned into the book club?
I would love to start a book club, but
Which means we're
going
gonna
to
have to read
pretentious books.
But we got to read the books first before we record the episodes with the actual movie.
Oh, we could do that. That'd be kind of fun.
So it would turn into the book club, and then we would invite people and tell them, okay, you got to read the book, otherwise you can't come on to the episode.
Comment below if that sounds something like you would want.
My book talk girlies, if you want this, vote below. Let us know. Do you want the book club at the Film Club?
Or would you just want the book club podcast so you can force me to finally finish reading ACOTAR?
The second one is the best.
The first one was really mid. Very
That's
mid.
why you got to read the second one, because the second one's the best one.
I refuse. I read the first one and ordered to read the first one, and it was mid as fuck, and I'm okay not continuing.
Comment below. He should read Mist and Fury. Come on, help me out.
But speaking of spicy romance novels, we're talking about one of the old spicy romance novels.
From the year 1847, we're talking about Wuthering Heights.
Adapted into a film in 2026.
One of the many adaptions.
Called Wuthering Heights.
Yes.
This one stars Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
It is directed by Emerald Fennell. Fennell? That's how it
Fennell, yes.
Fennell, yes.
Also, I didn't realize who Emerald Fennell was until I was doing research on her. She was in the Barbie movie.
Oh, yeah.
She was Midge.
Yeah.
I had no idea until I was like, oh my god, that was Midge.
You're so excited.
Mind is blown.
But yes, so we're talking about Wuthering Heights. We got to actually see this at its world premiere.
We did.
On, I believe it was January 28th. Oh, we have the tickets here. Yes, January
28th.
January 28th, the red carpet premiere. We got to be on the red carpet. Got to see all the stars. The stars were out. It was beautiful. But yeah, that was how we saw this movie, and we're going to talk about the movie in a second, but I want to ask you, how was the experience being on like the red carpet for, a film that's coming out?
Yeah, for a major film. I think this is like the year's first big film.
I believe so. This is probably the first major release this year off the top of my head, because I don't think anything major got released in January.
Early January,
yeah.
Yeah, so we just really got lucky getting these tickets.
Yes.
Thank you, One Iota, for inviting us to the premiere. I had a really good time. We were there for a long time, but it was so worth it to be able to walk the red carpet and to just hang out on Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Chinese theater.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a good chunk of time where I couldn't talk, because it was just, you've got, like the searchlights going and you've got other lights going, and I was just like, this isn't happening. This is the stuff that dreams are made of.
Exactly. The stuff that dreams are made of. And we were actually over by the interview booth, I guess, or not booth.
The stage.
Yeah, the interview stage. So when Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie, when everyone is getting interviewed, we're, 6-10 feet from all these people as they're having their interviews going on. It was very, very surreal experience.
Yeah. I mean, we're already standing where everyone arrives for like the Oscars.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a mind trip to be on that street, but then just to see these people come out of their cars and then walk up right to you to have their interview. We got into selfies with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Maybe we'll drop them right here so you guys can see them for the YouTube channel. For Facebook, they're already on there. We have a reel on there. We'll post more pictures when this episode drops. But yeah, it was so weird to see all these people in person and have them come up to us and wave at us. And it was just, it was very, very weird.
Yeah. But it was, again, the experience was very, very interesting. But again, the red carpet was cool. But then eventually we got to go inside the Chinese theater.
Yeah, because I mean,
everyone dressed to the nines.
Yeah, because I mean, when we got there, they were still building the setup for the red carpet, so we got to see like, you know, key things here and there. And once they were ready for everybody, we got to see all the work that was put into it and how they were able to kind of change the street. It was really cool how they incorporated a lot from the movie into the red carpet. And then by the skin of our teeth, we just managed to secure tickets to get into the actual screening. Yes. I think there was like 2 people behind us. Those were like the last 2 tickets that were given out. We were very lucky to get in.
Yeah, because originally because there's some things where you get access to the red carpet, but not to the film screening.
Or there's times where you get access to the screening, but not the red carpet. So this one, we were invited to the red carpet, and if they had extra tickets,
they would allow us into the screening.
Yeah. So there was no guarantee of what we were to expect that day. Just, you know, the red carpet, we weren't sure who we were going to meet, who we would see. And we just really lucked out, and we ended up seeing a ton of people, meeting some people, and then ultimately getting to watch the movie at the world premiere.
Yeah, and we've been to the Chinese theater a couple of times.
Yeah, love the Chinese theater.
It's fucking, I love those old movie palaces.
My mom grew up going to the Chinese theater. Your parents went to the Chinese theater.
They might have.
Or was your mom that went too?
Oh, for what, Star Wars?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, okay, my dad was a diehard drive-in guy up until the 70s. So they've probably been to the Chinese theater now that I think about it.
And then my mom grew up close to like where Chinatown is, so her and her friends, they would go over to the Chinese theater because that was like, you're getting like the new releases, so you go to one of the big theaters that has the new releases.
That was also after the Chinese theater was the big star movie palace and started being a normal like local movie theater, and then it got revived in like the 80s or 90s, or it got renovated in the 80s or 90s. There's we could go to do a whole history on the Chinese theater.
We would have to.
We get to go into the Chinese theater, got our free popcorn and drinks. It was lovely.
That's like the best thing about premieres.
Oh yeah, everything's comped. Yeah. Everything's comped, you know, and we get to our seats and they walk everybody else out to do like the Q&As, and they're, I don't know, 7 feet from us. Like there's a point we could have walked over, and like if we reached over a seat, we could have high-fived people. Yeah,
so I mean, with our tickets, we had no idea where we would be sitting because the Chinese theater, they have like a balcony level and they have the ground floor level, and it's what, like a 70-inch IMAX screen or a 90-inch?
It's much larger than that.
Yeah, it's this huge screen that just takes up the entirety of the room, and you're not guaranteed where you're going to sit in the theater. The times that we've sat there, we've sat on the balcony just so we could kind of appreciate the entirety of the screen.
Yeah.
But at the Chinese theater, they have like a lot of like Q&As with directors, actors. So it's like you want to be in those first few rows, but to watch the movie, you're craning your neck because it's a massive screen. So we ended up close to the bottom where the stage was. And I was excited because we're going to get, you know, really good pictures of everybody, of the cast when they come out. And sure enough, you know, we start hearing commotion next to us, and we look over, and there's Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi standing right next to us. And they stood there for a couple of minutes because they weren't ready for them on stage. And it was just like, oh my God, Barbie and Frankenstein are right next to me. Try not to lose your shit.
I was eating my popcorn. I looked over, and Jacob Elordi, like, me and Jacob Elordi made eye contact, and we like awkwardly waved to each other. And then I went back to eat my popcorn.
And then Margot Robbie, she almost fell down next to us. I mean, her dress was gorgeous, but it was a lot of fabric, and these stairs are very narrow. And it was just, she almost lost it. Someone caught her, And she, was talking to me and the girl next to her. And I was like, oh my God, we're actually like talking to Margot Robbie. This is so freaking cool. Don't blow it. Don't look like a nerd. Don't pinch off.
Don't start yelling Barbie at the top of your lungs and get us kicked out.
I may have said bye Barbie when she left the theater. I wasn't the only one, okay? I had to live out that dream, that goal. And I did.
Bucket list achieved.
I almost brought my Barbie cup with me today.
But the red carpet experience, the stars were out, and then the theater goes dark.
It does. No trailers, guys. Just straight to the movie.
It's dark. No trailers. The lights come on. Sound comes in. Charlie XCX's score chimes in.
If you guys didn't know, Charlie XCX is Dean's favorite artist.
She literally walked up to us. I'm like 5 feet from her, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. I thought she was somebody who showed up to the red carpet as somebody's friend. And no idea who that woman was.
And me and the rest of the women that were around Dean that heard him say, well, who is that? We're like, that's Charlie XCX. Who are you talking about?
I had no idea who that woman was. Gun to my head, I'm like, so Sarah? Like,
and then when we're in the theater, as the cast is coming down, Dean goes, oh, hey, look, there's Charlie XCX. I'm like, don't tell me like you're some expert. You know who Charlie XCX is now?
Well, now I knew by then. But the film begins. And
it opened. We're not going to give you guys too many spoilers. We're going to try to release this maybe a week before the movie comes out or day it comes out. We're still figuring out a release date.
We're just going to give you the gist so you'll know what to expect and if we liked it and if we think you might like it. Because mileage varies, right?
And we don't want to release any spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an opinionated asshole and Becky hates everything I enjoy.
And, I'm also an opinionated asshole and Dean hates everything that I enjoy and I love.
Exactly. So our mileage might vary on this film.
Yes.
But the movie begins, and I think the first thing we have to note is Emerald Fennell, the director and the writer of the film, she makes it very, very clear this is not an adaptation of Wuthering Heights.
It is a reimagining of the story.
Yes, it is a reimagining of the stories. So the gist of the plot, the gist of the characters is what she's using to develop her own interpretation of what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you're a big fan of the book and you want a one-for-one retelling,
this is not it.
Not it. Because I love a period piece. I love a movie where you get to see, basically, I love a movie where you get to see old British actors acting like old British dukes and lords doing old, like, adventure shit. I think that stuff's fun.
I mean, you try to act like an old duke and lord all the time.
It's my thing, I find it fun. And this is a more, like, modernistic style of film, mostly because there's a lot of sexy going on in this movie.
Yeah. It's a very horny movie.
Very horny movie. There's also this tongue-in-cheeky kind of humor to it that in some spots really hit.
I thought you were going to say a lot of fingers in mouth.
Oh, okay, we're going to get to that. That is not a spoiler. That's a trigger warning.
Well, I mean, also if you've seen the trailer, then you know.
You know. But that's the thing. Like, the movie tonally has things going on for it where if you want a direct book adaptation, this isn't it. But if you want something that's, it's got a little bit sexy to it, it's got a little bit of fire to it, and also there's parts where you can laugh. It's not taking itself super seriously.
No, it's not a serious movie.
It's not a serious movie, and I think
except for when it gets serious.
That's something we're gonna brush against when we get to like how we feel about certain parts of the movie, because I have thoughts. But it's an enjoyable film.
Yes.
Just out of the gate, I found it enjoyable.
Same.
And I guess I'm wondering how much we want to divulge what's going on. Should we tell people like what the movie's about?
I think we have to.
I think we have to. So the movie opens, we watch it, and we find out what the movie's about. The movie is actually a tragedy.
Yeah.
It is about tragedy closing in as this intense romantic affair unfolds between the married lady Catherine Earnshaw, played by Margot Robbie, and her brutish adopted brother Heathcliff.
Mr. Heathcliff.
Mr. Heathcliff, played by Jake Valordi. And much of the film and the drama stems from a character who I don't know their role in the book, but I don't think they were as unintentionally evil.
Are you talking about Nellie?
Yes. Is Nellie evil?
It even says it back here on the book. There's Nellie.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because, okay. Basically, the gist of the movie is Catherine loves Heathcliff. Heathcliff
loves
Catherine. But Nellie, for some reason, doesn't want them to be together and forces them apart. And through, shenanigans, Catherine gets married to another guy.
But I don't even think Nellie really wants them apart because she knows how the two of them feel towards one another. I think she's just like, when are you both going to notice it? It's like you guys are so in your feelings, you don't notice that the other person is feeling the same thing that you're feeling.
Well, the thing is, though, is that she destroys the letters they send to each other.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that Nellie gets in the way. It's very Romeo and Juliet.
Which is something that is referenced in the film.
It's referenced in the movie,
film.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to make a Romeo and Juliet, just make Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Because there's... Again, I don't know about the book. I don't know how that story unfolds. But for this, I don't know why there's so much intent on keeping them separated.
That's something that we should probably, kind of put out there. We haven't read the book. I've had this book forever. This is from Borders. I tried reading it. I think I only got like 60 pages in. I was planning on reading it before the film drops on February 13th. If you don't have your tickets already, it's coming out Valentine's Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Galentine's Day trip to take. Or you take your boyfriend, fiance, husband with you.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie to watch on Valentine's Day. But yeah, we haven't read the book. So we only know the story in gist, basically.
Yeah. A quick Wikipedia synopsis and this movie is basically it for me, because I haven't even seen the is it a Laurence Olivier adaptation?
From what I've heard, that's the best one. But yeah, so we don't know too much about the story. I had to do research after we saw the movie. I was intending on reading this before it came out on February 13th and just didn't get the opportunity to. But I've been watching a lot of videos about people that love the book and love the characters and how upset they were that, casting and the route that Emerald Fennell was taking with the story. But it's a reimagination. It's not a true adaptation.
Yeah. Which, again, the reinterpretation is like totally fine. Let your creativity go.
Yeah.
My question mostly just comes up to the film's the dramatic crux of the film. I don't understand it so much. I don't know why they're forced to be separated as opposed to kind of letting nature take its course, because it seems like they're kind of set up pretty early on to be like, so we're basically, when you turn 18, I turn 18, we're getting married, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's you love me, I love you. We're each other's person.
Yeah, we're basically gonna wait for your drunken dad to die, and then we're just gonna get married, right? Like that's what we're doing. And that's what I feel like the first half of the movie, or the first act of the movie is kind of setting up, is that these two are together, and maybe Catherine's like, oh, I can't marry Heathcliff, that brutish oaf that lives in the barn with a 6-pack abs and who stares at me through the window seductively. No, I could never fall for him, never. And like, that's her being like, I could never fall for him. And then she kind of, I guess she wants to marry into like more money because they're kind of poor, but
the name of their house is fucking lit.
Yes, Wuthering Heights is a solid name for a house.
Where do you live? Oh, come back, come hang out at my house. Where do you live? Wuthering Heights.
Fuck. But that's just a thing, right?
Yeah.
The movie has like the style, right? But it's the story and the script structure the script that I have bumps against, just because I don't understand why they need to be separated and why certain characters are forcing them to be separated, because that's never totally explained to me. But again, that's not why you're going to come to this movie. You're coming to this movie because it's Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. They're having a steamy romance
on the moors.
Like, that's
in
what
the
you're
mist
here.
and the fog.
That's what you're here for the movie for,
That's
right?
what we want. That's all we want.
That's all we want. So with that, I guess there's the question. We have Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi having a steamy romance.
Yeah.
Was this steamy enough? Were they good? Did they have good chemistry?
It was steamy. It was steamy. And I mean, spoilers, there's a lot of steamy things in here that did not happen in the book.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is the book more tame than the film?
The book, I mean, while granted, this movie has a lot of yearning in it, the book is just purely yearning. They never...
Oh, they never get down?
Never, no.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, it's a lot of, I got to feel her hand. I got to touch her hand, hold her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing ever went past that. So it's just purely yearning.
Okay, because I remember after we watched the movie, we were going home, and I think I was describing it as, wow, that is a really that movie had the tone of almost like a Harlequin pulpy romance, where it's like, oh, the brutish debonair cabin boy grows up to be a suave...
The stable boy.
The stable boy grows up to be a suave millionaire who whisks me away from my humdrum life to get boinked in the barn. Like, that's like the tone and the vibe I think it's trying to go for. And again, had no frame of reference. I thought that was what the book was. And I hear people talk about, Wuthering Heights. Yeah, that's probably one of the top 5 greatest novels in English. It's probably the greatest novel written by a woman ever.
Wasn't required for my high school reading.
It's same. My high school reading was like non-existent. I might have gone into this before, but every book I ever read, for the most part, I did on my own. My school might have assigned me 3 books my entire life. Like, for some reason, I went to public school, so we had like excerpts. We didn't really have to read like full novels for classes.
We had to read full books.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like the basics, like Romeo, Juliet, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Never had To Kill a Mockingbird.
I know you read that after we started dating, right?
Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
I've actually never read it. I've seen the movie a bunch. I love it. I bought the book and I'm
going
going to read it.
That's why I'm like, did I buy you the book?
No. You were there when I bought the book.
Okay.
I'm going to read it. Because
I think you bought me a copy of the book too, even though I have a couple copies of them.
I might have.
It's a really good book. Really good movie too.
That's what the movie is great. Go check out that episode. It's a good episode.
That's an early one.
Very early. But that's the thing. Like, my high school experience, like, I might have read like 3 books in all of high school, like for a class ever.
And then
it was like Great Gatsby, Of Mice and Men, and was it only 2 books? I might have only read 2 books. There might be another one, because I never read any Shakespeare in full in high school.
No, we had to read Romeo and Juliet in full.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet, I don't think we didn't read in full. We read scenes and excerpts. We never read the full thing. That I do know. But besides the point, my high school experience was very, like, not a lot of reading going on.
I'm bringing it up because I've been watching interviews with the cast now that we've seen the movie, and just to kind of get where they're coming from. Margot Robbie hadn't read the movie, or hadn't read the book until she got the role in the movie. So she got to read it as an adult, and she had said, she's like, I'm kind of glad that I didn't read it as a teenager.
Yeah.
She's like, because I totally would have fell for Heathcliff. And she's like, but to see it as an adult and see just how toxic they are.
Yes.
And I watched a bunch of YouTubers that like specialize in books, and they're just like, yeah, I read this as a kid and I was like, oh, I want a Heathcliff. And then they're like, I read it again as an adult and I'm like, what were you thinking? And it's just, it's hard to watch this movie and not have the background on it like I did with Frankenstein, where I knew the story. This was just like, I don't know what that was. It was hard to watch this and see the story because you want these characters together. And then it's just like, oh, but they're toxic for one another, but I kind of want them together. It's this weird dichotomy of they're perfect for one another, but there's just so much toxicity around them.
watching the film, there's a point in the movie where it goes from, oh, you want them to be together because, oh, she's pretty, he's pretty, and obviously they should be together. And it gets to like, oh, Heathcliff's kind of fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine is way too inexperienced to know how to handle this. And
that was a problem that you had.
yes. Yeah, that is a gripe I had against the movie. So here's the thing. Jacob Elordi, I think, is great in the movie. I think he does exactly what he needs to do. He is.
I mean, a lot of the book fans were not happy that he was cast.
Yeah.
Because Heathcliff is supposed to be, I guess, a person of color.
Yes.
That's kind of like context clues that's given in the novel.
Heathcliff in the novel, I believe, is more racially ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's supposed to be, because again, this was written in 1847.
Yeah.
So it's more ambiguous because it's like, is he meant to be like black, or is he meant to be like Sicilian? Is he meant to be like Indian or Mediterranean? Because his ethnicity is very like, it's never stated, but he's described as like dark and brooding, and his physical description is of like a darker skinned and less fair, and I don't know what that really meant. Emily Brontë meant by that.
And then, you know,
because
in all the films, he's always been played by, you know, like English actors, white actors. So once the casting came out for this, people were upset that, you know, they chose Jacob Elordi. And it's just like, I understand. I'm trying to think, you know, like classic books that I love where, you know, we're going to alter the story and we're going to flip and do this and that. And it's like, I could see where people would be upset about it. But he is such a good actor that it's like, I think you kind of have to see through that and just see his performance. He puts on a phenomenal performance in this movie.
Well, it's funny because Emerald Fennell stated that the reason she cast Jacob Elordi is because he looks exactly like the fucking guy on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
Like the book she read originally, they had the illustration on the front, and he just looks like the guy. So he looks like what the popular, I guess, artistic rendering of
the version that she read, you know, that was stuck in her head. And it was just like, yes, he is, you know, tall and brooding and pretty, but it's just like, but he can also act.
Yes. Oh, no, he's great in the film.
He's just phenomenal. And then the flip, the complaints that people had about Margot Robbie was that she wasn't, you know, 18 like Catherine is in the book, or Kathy is in the book. And Kathy, I guess, is brunette. She's not blonde.
Well, my gripes with Margot Robbie I guess it's not so much. I guess it's not like the look, I guess, because that I didn't have any context for that. But it is the thing where Margot Robbie in the film is playing Catherine, who is supposed to be much younger. And it's never stated how old she is in the film.
No.
She goes from being like, I don't know, 10 or 12, and then we flash forward to her being a grown woman.
They're both children, and they're about the same age when we meet them.
And then we flash forward to an undescribed like age, and then 5 years after that. That's like the time jumps we're getting.
That's the only time we get, you know, confirmation on how far time is, the 5-year one.
Yes. And Margot Robbie is a wonderful actress.
She is.
I've enjoyed her in pretty much everything I've seen her in. I think she's an actress that is probably like worthy of the critical praise, and I think she's somebody who is game for pretty much anything. But for this specifically, Catherine's supposed to be like 18, naive, kind of like figuring it out, and I, as an audience person or audience member, I was watching it and I'm like, okay, Margot Robbie doesn't give the vibes of a naive 18-year-old who has no experience in love. She gives the vibe of she's a grown fucking woman who's like who shouldn't be falling for Heathcliff's bullshit. And that's something that kind of like bums. I don't think she's bad given the material she has. It's more just when you see her, I'm like, Margot, I don't think you're in that range to do this kind of character. You know, like if it was somebody, I don't want to say somebody like younger, Because Jacob Elordi's what, like 29 in this, and
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, like, and even then I'm like, okay, I don't think you're like too young or too old for this, but he looks more closer to like a teenager in that way, who's trying to dress up as a man, I guess. So I don't know. It's just a thing where she didn't look the part to me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see someone a little bit younger playing the role, just playing, you know, someone that's
just more naive.
That all she's ever known is Wuthering Heights. That's it. You know, she's only known this property because we have a part that it's really good in this movie where he protects her so that she doesn't see something that she shouldn't be seeing. He you know, kind of jumps into, you know, no, I'm trying to preserve your innocence.
Yeah, and it turns into a kink for her about halfway through the movie.
Yeah. I mean, even when I'm watching the scene, I'm like, I know what you're trying to do, but we're taking a turn here. Yeah, feeling a certain way. But yeah, you know, I can totally see where she's trying to play somebody that's really, really innocent.
That does it just doesn't match her star persona.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like,
but the tough part is that they have really good chemistry together.
No, I think that's why they were cast together.
Yeah.
Because I know that Margot Robbie was a producer on the film.
Yeah.
And she was like the first one cast, I believe. And I think what it came down to was like, Margot is in. We need to find somebody who can play off of her well. And I think they found that in Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. If it was the other way around, I think we would have gotten a different I think it would have been a different casting situation. I think. But again, Margot Robbie is still wonderful in the film.
Oh yeah.
All the funny bits she kills, all those dramatic bits she maintains. Like, she is great in the movie. She just, like, if you're watching it, you're gonna be like, how the fuck does Margot Robbie not know what this fucking situation is?
Yeah.
You know, that's a grown woman.
But her and Heathcliff together, you know, he's super serious and she's kind of, you know, she turns into a bratty little girl.
Yes.
It's like we go back to them being children and it's just, there she goes again. And Heathcliff's like, you know what? I am just tired of your bullshit. I'm just going to pick you up and set you down in a tree and I'm going to take off until you stop, you know, complaining about whatever you're complaining about this time. They
have a fun relationship. And it's a thing where at the beginning, it's this fun, like, bratty brother-sister relationship, but they're not brother and sister, so it's not creepy.
No, it's sad because, you know, we see when Heathcliff is first brought to Wuthering Heights and Kathy's dad basically said, yo, here's your pet. Yeah, you want to name him? You know, go ahead and name him. And it's just this thing of, this is a human being, but, you know, he protects Kathy. They're basically kindred spirits, you know. It's like those stories where you hear people where it's like, I met my wife in like the second grade and we've had to grow up together and we've had to deal with moves and this and that, but you know, we've always been each other's person. It just took us a while to get to. It
took a while to figure out it was romantic.
Yeah, to get to adulthood where it's like, oh, okay, you know, we can actually pursue something and, you know, make a go of it. And with the two of them, it's like, you guys had so many chances once you guys hit that level of, you know, maturity. And it's just like in all the books, no one is talking to each other. It's like, just say the words, talk. A lot of your problems could be solved if you just talked.
Adult conversations.
Yes.
How many films have we seen that it could have been solved by an adult conversation? How many? How many?
Countless. Endless.
Every romantic comedy. All of them.
All they do is pick up a phone. And back in these days, pick up a scroll. Or you're there.
Scroll.
Or you're there, you know, in a cold night at Wuthering Heights. Nothing to do. Yo, I got feelings for you. Yo, same.
Yo, it's not like we're doing anything else. Let's pump out some kids. But that, again, it's a thing where it's like, their chemistry is great.
Yeah.
My bump against like Margot Robbie is probably something that most people can look past. But it is a thing where it's like, if you've seen other films Margot Robbie's in,
Mhm.
it'll be a weird bump because it's different from her star persona.
Yeah.
She is not like the wild child from like Babylon. She's not
Or
like the
Wolf of Wall Street.
yeah. She's not the like sexual temptress of Wolf of Wall Street. She's not any of those characters, and it's weird in Wuthering Heights when she's playing almost opposite that. But I digress because there's a lot more to the movie. The other thing about the movie that is notable is for all our cinema people, the movie looks really pretty.
My God, this movie is gorgeous.
This movie does have moments where it's like very artistically shot, artistically rendered. There's really good cinematography, lighting. There's emotion behind how things are lit and shot. It doesn't feel like a Netflix movie where they're just lit to expose the camera.
This movie, the cinematographer was Linus Sandgren. I had to look him up because I'm like, I needed to know who the people were that made this movie, because this movie is just gorgeous from, cinematography, backgrounds, costuming. So
the production's wonderful.
Yeah. So Linus, the first thing that's listed on his IMDb is La La Land. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, of course this is La La Land. I'm like, of course. The colors are beautiful, vibrant. I was just like, oh my God. But he also did the cinematography for Saltburn, 007 No Time to Die, Babylon, American Hustle. He has a ton of credits.
Okay.
So I was just like, that makes so much sense, because this movie is just gorgeous.
No, it's a very beautiful film. It's a thing where it's like I love rain in cinema.
Yeah.
Again, you see enough Kurosawa movie, you start to love like rain. Rain looks cool. And there's a good use of like rain in this film. There's a good use of nature in this film. I love when they're on the moors and there's the fog and there's all that green grass and now they're going around. There's beautiful cinematography.
That's why I enjoyed this movie so much, because the realism of the world and of Wuthering Heights feels so real. It doesn't feel manufactured.
Did they film this on location?
They filmed the moors on location. So they did a lot of work outdoors, but I love the surreal flip we take when we get to I had to write it down because it's kind of a mouthful. Thrushcross Grange.
Okay.
And this ends up being Kathy's house.
Oh, okay.
I love the realism of, nature and outdoors, and just basically where Heathcliff thrives, where, you expect to see him, in the midst of the moors. And then just that surreal flip when we get to Edgar's house, and it's just vibrant red and white and just, it's just wild. Like, it's almost like Alice in Wonderland stepping through the glass.
See, that's a really good way to describe it, because Wuthering Heights, what better or worse, whatever, is a more grounded place. At least grounded in the sense of it looks like a period specific home. And then when you go into Edgar's house, it is like going into a fucking loony bin.
Yeah, we're through the looking glass. Nothing quite makes sense. Kathy's not happy.
Kathy's not happy. There's also the thing where the walls are painted to look... Oh, I got the walls painted to be the same color as your beautiful face. Oh, look, there's a freckle. And it's not a painting. It's not... Okay, the walls are not painted the same shade as her face. They're painted with, like, the texture of her, like, face and skin. So there's freckles. You can see, like, vein lines in there. There's, like, an intricate
and even Kathy's like, skin. Huh, okay.
And it's so fucking weird. And then there's also like Edgar's companion sister.
Isabella.
Elizabella, she has like, oh, you want to see my doll collection? And it's this perfect 1-for-1 of
the dollhouse
of their estate, which is like cool, but also that she makes dolls of everybody, and
including the dog,
and it's like really weird. And
then, even Kathy's like, oh, thanks for the weird creepy doll.
And then like Heathcliff, because he's like salty, like him and Isabella get it on, and it's like, okay, here's that thing, right? Okay, that feeling when, man, I'm gonna go and get revenge on my ex, and then you find out you match somebody who matches your freak. That is Elizabeth.
That's like, not too many spoilers.
Not a big spoiler, but she a freak. She she would. Oh man. Okay.
Because I mean,
if this character was like a real person now, they'd have a real big OnlyFans. I'm gonna say this right now. A very specific kind of OnlyFans. But yeah, she a dang ass freak.
Yeah, so it's very much going into the looking glass with this movie, and I think that's what people have a problem with, that it's not just, a standard period piece.
Yeah.
Where we go into the moors and then Kathy meets Edgar and she has the opportunity to kind of see what it is to live basically in the lap of luxury. This is just, we took some acid and we're just kind of going with the flow now.
Yeah, and okay, that's the thing about the movie when I was watching it. I was enjoying it because there were funny bits, there was dramatic bits, it was doing what a movie needed to do, and then shit would happen where I'm like, why are we in a Tim Burton movie all of a sudden? Why? Oh, he passed away surrounded by his bottles, and I'm like, that was a
hilarious,
ridiculous amount of alcohol.
Not that him passing was hilarious. The amount of bottles of alcohol in the room was hilarious.
And how they're arranged is like, that's not
and then I don't know.
That is a cartoon. That is a Looney Tunes frame.
But also, because of where we were sitting in the theater, we had to crane our neck because we were sitting beneath the screen, basically.
Yeah. So
a lot of things. Like this. So a lot of things were warped sometimes. So we were kind of like, am I seeing that right? And it's like, oh no, we're sitting at this angle, so it's warping things for us. So I need to watch this again and have like a straight shot of the screen in front of me so I could see, were those bottles really towering the way that they were, or was it just the screen warped the image?
No, they were towering.
Because this is like Oppenheimer all over again.
Oh, God.
The part with the nipples.
Oh, yes, where you... I'm okay, everybody. I'm watching Oppenheimer. I'm like, man, this is a really good
We're in the
scene.
Chinese theater, too, so it's the big screen again.
Big, giant screen. I'm watching Oppenheimer, and it's the scene where it's fucking...
Cillian
Murphy and Florence Pugh, and they're both buck ass, and they're having this conversation in the hotel, and I'm just like, wow, this is like a really like good dialogue. This is so cool. And then Becky leans over to me and is like, hey, Dean. I'm like, what's going on? This is really cool. Florence Pugh's nipples look weird. And I was like, wait, what? And then I looked, and then I realized her nipples look off in this. And I don't know if it was cold or what. I couldn't stop looking at Florence Pugh's nipples in this fucking scene. It ruined the scene for me.
They looked a mile long, and I was like, that's not right. I'm like, this isn't Scary Movie whatever with Tim Curry with the mask.
Two.
Is it two?
Okay. Well, one day we will do a Scary Movie franchise.
Oh, absolutely. It'll
be goated. And then we'll try and figure out what they're referencing and how many of those movies survive pop culture test of time.
We can do this. We can figure it out. But yeah, we were having that effect happen again because I was like, I gotta watch this at home, get the DVD or something, because like, this isn't right. And then once the DVD finally rolled out and I watched it again, no, they were normal. So I'm like, okay, so the screen warped that. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch this on a regular screen because I need to know, were the bottles really that tall? Were they stacked that high?
They were stacked to the goddamn rafters.
I was like, this is amazing, but also like, that's just problematic. I mean, yeah, no wonder, you're poor, you're just drinking that money away.
Again, it's back to the thing. There's parts of the movie, we're harping on the bottle things, but that's kind of indicative. There's parts of the movie that are like, is this a fucking Tim Burton reference? Like when she falls at the fence, right? When
that
her
was
and,
hilarious.
Was it Edgar meet for the first time?
When her and Edgar meet.
And she falls like, oh no, and he opens the door and then it cuts to her and like the sun's cut through the clouds. She's like, hair beautiful. Margot Robbie is there with her fucking sex eyes being like, hello, Edgar.
She's posed on the ground,
I fell.
She just fallen off the gate and she can hear them, there's a strange woman, get her. And she's like, well, I've got to, do a meet cute. So she gets herself, all gussied up and then just, hello there. And I was like, that's hilarious.
But that's the thing. The movie tonally has these weird flips because we have moments that are supposed to be taken ultra seriously. Deadly seriously. Yeah. And then we have moments like the meet cute stuff where I'm like, it cuts and it's like, that's a gag.
Yeah.
that's a joke, a straight visual joke.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke's funny.
It landed.
It landed. But then there's things where it goes, it's hard. It's easy to be I think it's easy to be a comedy with dramatic moments in it. I think it's harder to be a dramatic movie with comedy moments in it, because when you're a comedy and you get serious, people are like, oh, okay, this whole funny thing now is having like a serious moment. Okay, this is a tonal shift that I'm like, I've invested in the characters, I laughed along with them, and now they want to be a little serious. I can get behind this. But when it's a dramatic movie and it has moments of comedy in it, and not levity, comedy, then it's like, okay, so am I not supposed to take the this dramatic bit so seriously? Because it feels like the world's a little more heightened and goofy. And then the movie goes on, and I'm like, okay, I get it's a melodrama, but I don't know if the Jack in the Box is going to pop out and this is all just going to be a farce, okay? The dollhouse bit still gets me, where she's like, oh, you're marrying Edgar. Oh, how droll. And it cuts to the dollhouse, and fucking Catherine's doll is murdered in a bloody mess inside the fucking, like, dining room.
That was hilarious.
But that's the thing. It's fucking hilarious. It's a great gag, but it's also like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to take the movie seriously?
Yes and no.
And I think yes and no. In some parts of it where it's like, okay, I get this is serious, but it's kind of funny. I don't know when he's just like, okay, everybody, so I had to cut something out because I might have spoiled something on accident. But there's a part in the movie where one character is doing something and another character comes up and does something where he'd be like, this would be so romantic. But because you know what's going on, you're like, this is a fucking Naked Gun bit. This is a fucking airplane bit.
Yeah,
this is a bit.
Yeah,
it's a bit.
Yeah, we blend between humor and drama.
Deathly serious drama.
And I mean, because it's not like we're laughing nonstop. A lot of it is serious. I mean, just like opening the movie, you know, Heathcliff, you know, protecting Kathy and taking the beating from her father. You know, just seeing how cruel her father can be. And just seeing these two children, you know, basically becoming their safe space because the parent isn't, you know, making them feel safe. So it's like there's a lot of seriousness in the story. But yeah, I mean, but when the comedy comes, it's just...
The comedy comes and it hits really, really hard and really, really well. But it's also... If you have too many jokes in your drama, then your drama stops being as dramatic. And it's that balancing act. And I think the movie might tilt too much one way or the other. That was my bump against it.
My best way to describe this movie is it's a ride.
Yes.
It is a wild ride. You don't know what you're going to expect. When I was doing my research, the movie is just the first half of the book.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Does it end the same way?
No.
Wait, what the fuck? I am so confused now. Because how the movie ends is like pretty definitive.
Yeah, no, that happens in the book.
Okay.
But there's more to the story.
There's more. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. When you guys watch the movie and you find out that's the first half of the book, you're gonna understand why I'm so fucking confused.
Yeah, because I had the ending spoiled to me. Well, I mean, somebody spoiled the book for me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what happens in the book. So then it was, okay, now I know what happens. I need to know how we get to what happens. And then I was watching all the book stuff, and they're like, yeah, this is just the first half of the book. So I'm like, okay, so if we had done the full book in her style, then we probably would have ended up with like a 3-4 hour movie.
Oh, yeah, it would have been 3 or 4 hours, and it would have been a thing where the tonal back and forth would have been neck snapping after a while.
Yeah, so it's an interesting ride, but a fun one.
Yes, I guess I can get us to kind of like that. The final thoughts on this one. It's a fun ride. I enjoyed the movie. It was not boring. It was not like...
It didn't feel like 2 hours either.
No, it's 2 hours, 16 minutes. It feels probably a 100 minutes. It feels like 20-30 minutes shorter than its actual runtime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good, I think that's helped by the editing. There's a lot of like good musical montages and stuff that helps propel the story, and it's interesting. It's visually interesting.
The score's really good. It's by Anthony Willis. He did the score for Saltburn, Megan, Solo, A Star Wars Story. He did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
That's way better than the other things you mentioned, but yes.
And then Charlie XCX, she's part of the soundtrack of this movie. She wrote original music that's in this movie only.
Yes.
So you have, good music that's in this movie, the cinematography. I love the costuming, even though that's another gripe with people that are fans of the book. They're, this isn't authentic to the era.
Yeah.
But it's just, this is a reimagining. This is, kind of a romantasy version of this book. So it's like, I loved
the production you really loved.
I love the production. I love that sequence of her out in Lemore's in the wedding dress. That's a good part. So haunting. That is, every time you read a story or a story is told, and then she was out there in her billowing white dress, and it's just like, wow. I'm like, that was it. They accomplished the shot.
They pulled a thing in your head onto the screen.
Yeah, they made something that I've tried to imagine before into a reality. And it was just like, wow, they really hit the nail on the head. The plastic dress.
Yeah.
That's obviously way not, of that time, but I was just like, that's a piece of art right there. I'm like, I can appreciate the plastic dress. Even her mourning wear when they attend the funeral. And it's just like, it's very striking. I loved the production. All the people that worked on this. The costume designer for this movie is Jacqueline Duran. So she's won 2 Academy Awards, one for Little Women 2020.
Okay.
And Anna Karenina 2013.
That movie had Emerald Fennell in it.
Little Women?
No, Anna Karenina.
Did it?
Well, she was in Anna Karenina. I don't know if it was that one, but she was in the film Anna Karenina.
So it's like, while this isn't completely like period appropriate, the costumes that are period appropriate make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a woman that, won 2 Academy Awards for it. She knows what she's doing. But she also designed for Barbie, The Batman, 1917, Atonement, Pride and Prejudice. So it's like they had, people that knew what they were doing.
That's the thing. The production is very good. The technical aspects are very good. The movie is my thinking on it, right? It's a fun ride. I enjoyed it. It was not boring. The parts of it that I bump against come down to the fact that I don't think this movie is for me. I am probably not the demographic this movie is aiming for, and I'm like...
You saw how many women were there the other night.
Correct. I knew exactly how many women were here.
All the screams.
I was one of like 4 dudes in that accumulation of the red carpet. I'm be real with you.
And theater.
So this movie was not aimed at me, and I'm bumping against stuff like, well, okay, the script's kind of like weird here. I think there's some stuff that's happening that's not really explained, but the parts that you're coming there for are the romantic chemistry between the 2 leads, and basically, do they competently tell a gripping will they won't they story with this toxic guy and this naive girl. That's what the gist is. And I think they accomplished that. I think the movie does what it's aiming to do, but if you're watching this as a purely cinematic exercise, then I think you're going to think it's just okay. But that's just me. I would still probably... Okay, would you recommend this for your Valentine's Day? Because I think I would.
Absolutely.
I think so too. I think this is a really good Valentine's Day movie.
And Galentine's Day.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, go on Friday the 13th. Go watch Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, that's the thing. This movie works for your date nights. If you want a date night and you want something that's, a little spicy, a little hot and heavy, and that has a couple of good laughs in it, and it takes itself seriously enough that you're going to get to the end and you're going to be like, Fuck, shit, damn. Yeah, this is a solid movie for that. But that's Wuthering Heights. Any final thoughts? Anything else you wanted to mention before we get out of here?
No, I really enjoyed it. Like we were saying, it's good. You can go with, your significant other. You could go with your best friend, your book talk girlies. You can go with anybody. Well, maybe not your parents to go see this movie.
Don't go with your parents.
Definitely don't go.
Don't go.
Dean was blushing in a lot of scenes in this movie, so don't go with your parents.
Elizabeth is a dang ass freak. Dang ass freak. Everyone out there.
Do you mean Isabella?
Isabella, dang ass freak. I'm going to tell you this right now. She's going to wink at the camera and you're going to know in that moment, in that second, how much of a freak she is. And you're going to laugh.
But, okay, this was something that we had talked about in the car on the drive home. You didn't think that this movie is going to make a lot of money once it comes out opening weekend.
Okay, so here's the thing. The budget for the film is $80 million.
Yeah.
I think it'll make its budget back. I don't think it will be a world stopper.
I checked. They're projected to make back either 30 to 50 million. I think they're going to exceed it. I think they're going to go double.
Ooh, okay. Are we just doing opening weekends?
Yeah, I think we should do opening weekend.
Okay. Note on this, because we'll actually be able to mention this, but it won't be on our next episode because that time is a weird thing. But it'll be on the episode after that. We'll be able to mention this.
Or we'll mention it on Facebook. Or not Facebook. Wow.
Facebook.
Instagram.
Fuck, geez, boomer. Oh, God.
Sorry, I fell off my dinosaur earlier. I bumped my head.
Okay, so your so it's projected 30 to 50 million opening weekend?
I think it's going to exceed that.
Okay, give me a number.
100 million.
$100 million opening weekend. I think we're looking at a respectable but low-end 35 mil opening weekend.
All right.
100 million to 35 million, everybody. See it here first. I think it's respectable. I don't think it's going to be a world beater. I think it's going to make its money back. It's going to have a good, solid opening weekend, but it'll be a little low. It's a romance film in the year of our Lord 2026.
I mean, do we know if anything else is coming out that weekend?
No, this might be the only game in town.
And it's Valentine's Day weekend, and what's a perfect Valentine's Day date?
We'll see.
Well, no, not Wuthering Heights. Going to the movies. Whether it's a first date, whether it's just dinner and a movie.
I'm sorry, but Netflix and chill have overtaken the movie theater date night experience.
But can people afford Netflix?
Can people afford the theater? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, I think it's gonna do well. I just don't think it's gonna be the $500 million world beater. Let's bring back period pieces and romance films.
I'm just saying, I think it's gonna do a lot better than you're expecting.
I'm excited to see. I kind of hope so. Again, I like period pieces. I like literary adaptations. I like these classical style movies.
You were the one of saying that Jacob Elordi was built for period pieces.
Oh, 100%. Oh, you're going to see this movie and you're going to think, okay, we now have our leading man for these kind of button-up period dramas.
I really think he's going to get nominated for this.
Okay, well, he's nominated right now Best Supporting for Frankenstein. This coming out... He's not going to get nominated this year, and we have a whole year before next nominations are coming out.
I mean, we also don't know what's in the can for him that might be coming out this year as well. It might not be his only project that he's doing this year.
We'll see, but I think the major issue is this is so early in the year. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Academy, this movie would have to do gangbusters and hold on to like a cultural moment for a full year for him to get nominated. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. I don't think he'll get nominated. It's a pretty good performance, but
I don't know.
We shall see.
I feel like he's going to get nominated for this.
Well, he might. But you know what will be happening next time at the film club?
Is it another favorite of mine?
I think it is, because next time at the film club, we'll be diving into the filmography of possibly Boo's favorite director. Possibly. We'll find out. We'll be diving into the filmography of...
Guillermo del Toro.
That's right, Guillermo del Toro, because we were just talking about Frankenstein.
We were.
For Jacob Elordi.
We just, went to the exhibit for Frankenstein.
We did. It was lovely.
It was.
I talking about movies that'll get nominated... that will probably win Oscars. I cannot imagine Frankenstein doesn't win some sort of like costuming or technical awards.
They need to win all the awards. All of them.
We'll see.
All.
We'll see.
All.
We'll see. All. But Yes, we're going through the filmography of Guillermo del Toro. We're going to go beginning all the way to the end. We're going to see all of his movies, talk about them, rate them, describe them, see which ones are good, bad. How many Ron Perlmans show up in each movie? Who knows?
It could be every movie.
But we're going to start it off with his very first film. The first film for the first miniseries of the Film Club of 2026. We're going to be talking about
Kronos.
That's right, from 1993. But if you wanted to listen to that, where can they go?
If you want to listen to us on a different platform than you currently are, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and our home here at YouTube.
That's right. You can go to our YouTube channel, The Film Vault. That is The Film Vault on YouTube because the Film Club was taken. And you can go there, like, comment, subscribe, and check out over 200 of our previous episodes. And let us know if you want us to start another series, The Book Club, where we talk about books.
Leave those comments. Let us know if you want the book club to join the film club.
Exactly. But if you wanted to know if that's ever going to happen or other things we're getting up to, you can always check us out at...
Oh, I wonder if we should make a poll on our Instagram at the Film Club Podcast, where we post upcoming episodes, guest episodes, random polls about, maybe we add an extension to our podcast. Movies you might want us to review on the podcast where you get to vote and we'll review that movie.
We could even put up polls to find out what the next miniseries could be.
That's very true. So you can follow us there at the Film Club Podcast on Instagram. If you want to see our night at the premiere, there's a reel on there. We'll post more pictures when this episode drops. Again, thank you to One Iota for inviting us out. Thank you to Wuthering Heights, the movie, for inviting us out. Thank you to the Chinese Theater for having us. It is always a pleasure to go and enjoy the history of your movie theater and just feel like we're being taken back in time.
It was wonderful. And that was Film Club at the Movies. And
with that, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, have a good week, everybody.